Hello, welcome, gorgeous beings of light. This is Elmara coming to you with 100 Miracles in 100 Days project and the first step of my fifth dimension activation and effortless manifesting. So let's just begin by taking some long, slow, deep breaths in, or some short, sweet ones. But just follow your breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth, bringing your awareness within. Do this several times, please. When you're suitably ready, can you return your breathing to in through the nose and out through the nose? And continue that breath while I share with you miracle number 58. If you weren't here yesterday, it's letting you know that we're changing it up a little, giving you the miracle first, because some people find if they've got into that deep state from the activation, then I start telling you the miracle. Yeah, they find it distracting, which if they kept breathing it wouldn't, but that's okay. Let's try it this way and see if it helps. But the key is that there is source codes embedded in my voice, and all you have to do is breathe. Because before I record these, I've often meditated for somewhere in the vicinity of 2 to 4 hours. So that's why just listening and breathing and noticing anything that comes up, any agitation, anything, and then just breathe through it. It's the greatest opportunity to heal your stuff. And it is your stuff. Through just breathing and listening to a wonderful, wonderful miracle story, which is today's, number 58. So, it was in my 20s, so it's a good 40 years ago. It was right at the beginning of my healing career. And it was an Easter long weekend. I worked in a normal job back then, and I'd gone down to Margaret River to visit my friend who I'd been her bridesmaid in the previous year or whatever. We'd been friends for a long time. And when I got there, she was laying down and crying. So you've got to remember this miracle goes back 40 years. There was no mobile phones, there was no internet, and doctors at that stage, Margaret River is a really big tourist town now, but back then it was just a little tin pot, nothing town, and doctors would close at 5 o'clock on a Friday. That'd be it. See nobody until Saturday. Oh, sorry, not Saturday. There was no hospital there then either. There is now. There would be nothing available until Monday. And Janine had, I think she'd been to the doctor, and the placenta was coming away from the baby, and she was told to lay down and to go to the specialist on, because it was a long weekend, it would be Tuesday because it was the Easter long weekend. And when I arrived, she was crying because it was pretty evident that she might be losing the baby. Just breathe for me, please. So I went out to, and she was obviously very distressed about it. Pretty certain she may have already lost one, although we're going back 40 years and my memory may be failing there, but she was definitely distressed about losing this baby. And at some point I went out to visit my granddad, who was buried in the Margaret River Cemetery. My grandfather is one of the original settlers of southwest Western Australia, down in the Margaret River, Rosa Glen area. They came out in a boat, promised this exquisite lifetime, and got here, and there was just bits of wood and bits of hessian. They were all middle class English people that gave up their lives to come to Australia and help build it. When they got here, there was nothing here for them. Granddad was 12 years of age, and his mother, my great-grandmother, passed away just 6 weeks after they arrived from pneumonia. So he was kind of just had his dad and him for all of his life, and he had passed away and was buried in the same cemetery as his parents, and I'd gone to visit him. And this was the first probably real inkling that I started to get that something else was happening. I mean, I got a lot when he passed away, but this was after he passed away, and I was just visiting him at his cemetery. And I remember clearly, and I was tidying up his grave, and I remember clearly saying to him, God, I'd do anything to get a hug from you. And immediately feeling like my granddad was there holding me and hugging me. And I remember it made me weep. And I was just began talking to him like I did when he was alive, you know. And I kind of heard answers and everything. And then right at the very end of my conversation with him, I remember him just saying to me, is there anything else I can do for you, darling? I said, well, actually there is. My friend Janine Morton, you know, the one I was bridesmaid for, 3 or 4 years ago, I said, she is losing her baby. And they said that the placenta is coming away from the baby. And if you can do anything to help from the other side, that would just be amazing. My granddad comes back to me and clearly says to me, he asked for her name and blah, 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 address and all that. No, I don't think he did. Like, that's just my human thing, thinking he needed that. I remember him saying to me, but I don't know what I can do at this stage, because Janine was about 3 or 4 months pregnant. I don't know what I can do to help at this stage, but I promise you, if she loses this one, she will not lose the next one. I was like, oh, well, thanks. I mean, at that stage, I had no idea about how things worked on the other side. So I had no idea, what he really meant by saying, I don't know if I can help with this one. I'll do my best, but if I can't, I promise you she won't lose the next one. And I'd gone to see Granddad on the Sunday, so I'd arrived. It was in Australia, we have Easter Friday and Easter Monday off, so it's like a 4-day holiday. And I'd gone down on Friday, and it's now Saturday, Sunday. I was down at Granddad's grave before heading back on the Monday to go to work. That afternoon, Janine had her whole face had completely changed. She'd stopped bleeding. And I left on the Monday, I think it was. I left on the Monday, it would have been, to go back to Perth to work. Margaret River, for those of you overseas, is about, for those in Australia who don't know, it's about 3 hours south of Perth, approximately from memory. And by Monday, she was up and about. Like, she was brighter on the Sunday afternoon after I'd been to see Granddad, and she was definitely much brighter by Sunday night. And Monday, she was up and about and moving around and was not bleeding at all. And when she went to the doctor on the Tuesday, to the specialist in Bunbury, so that's again, how backward we were back then. You had to drive an hour and a bit from Margaret River back up to Bunbury, which was a more regional town that had a hospital and specialists. And when she went to see them, they couldn't find anything the matter. Don't you just love it? I just love miracles like that. But it also, at the time, made me begin to realise, my granddad is not just dead in the ground and I'm never going to speak to him again, as had been kind of not necessarily directly taught to me, but inferred in all of my growing up, that once you're dead, you're gone and that's it, So, yeah, so that's our miracle for today. Isn't that lovely? And that baby is now a fully grown human being with babies of their own. I don't have the kids mixed up. I don't think that one's got kids, but it's fully grown human being anyway. So, I have a miracle to tell you about her second child. Yeah, so the first one isn't married with kids, I don't think. The second one's got lots of babies now. So, but I will share that miracle with you tomorrow. So just bring your awareness back into taking a breath in through the nose and out through the nose. I think it was really relevant to me as well because my granddad was the first person I truly loved and was gone, and I missed him so much. And I really thought I'd never get over the grief of him. I really do wish, part of the reason I talk about death and dying in my work is to try to remind people that they are just angels that by the other side, because I believe that 90% of the grief that happens is because we believe we can't contact our loved ones, and that includes our pets and animals, once they've crossed over, because that's what's been taught to us to make you live in that kind of lower level stuff. Imagine if we all knew we could connect to the ones that we loved and whenever we wanted to. It would change so much of the lower frequencies on Earth and empower you to do more and be more. Okay. So we're now just going to move on and do the fifth dimension, the first step of the fifth dimension. So just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, and bring your awareness within. Be long, slow belly breaths or soft, gentle breaths. It doesn't matter, just as long as you're following the breath in through the nose, holding it for as long as it's comfortable, and then out through the nose. Some of you may even feel the energy in your hands if you're sensitive, and I want you to breathe in. Raise your hands up, point them to the sun, and breathe out and tie the energy from your fingertips around the sun. Breathe in from the sun. Draw all that gorgeous source light from the sun down through your crown. Let it flood every cell, every atom, every molecule of your being, and breathe out. Take that energy, the last 5% of that energy, down and into the core of Mother Earth, and tie that energy around Earth. Breathe in and bring the energy from Earth all the way back up. Breathe out. Let that Earth energy flood your 100 trillion cells, 100 trillion telomeres. Take the last 5% up to the sun. Breathe in. Source light from the sun. Breathe out. Let it flood your 100 trillion cells into 100 trillion telomeres. Last 5% of the energy down into the core of Mother Earth. Breathe in. Drawing the energy up from the core of Mother Earth. Breathe out into your being. Last 5% up to the sun. Breathe in. Fill every cell, every atom, every molecule of being with that source light. Take the last 5% as you breathe out down into Earth. Breathe in. Bring all of that Earth energy back up. Breathe out. Just up and down, really simple. Drawing energy, the breath draws the energy, the sunlight down, or source light from the sun down into your being, activating your 100 trillion cells and your 100 trillion telomeres as you breathe out. Take the last 5% into Earth. Bring all that gorgeous golden light from the center of Mother Earth, along with all the minerals and nutrients and everything you need to sustain your physical life here on Earth. Breathe it out. And it's at this point where you're fully aligned with the Earth and the Sun that it's easy to just go, how can I manifest my soulmate? How can I manifest my new home? How can I get a pay rise at work? How can I manifest $5,000? And let it go. So just breathe up and down. It's best to do this standing barefoot on Mother Earth. But you can also do it sitting in a chair or laying in bed on your side. It's also best to do it first thing in the morning if you can, but it's best to do it any time if you can't do it then. It's just that if you do it at the start of your day, it will make a huge difference to the rest of your life, to the rest of your day, sorry, and the rest of your life if you do it regularly. Up and down. If you find your mind wandering, just bring your awareness back to your breath. So I'm going to give you a good blast of the fifth dimensional energy. I want you just to focus on your breath. If anything comes up, which it will, if you have unresolved poop inside of you, just breathe. Just breathe and invite it to come up. Don't start calling me names or blaming me. Just own it. Breathe into it because it's ready to come up. If you are feeling it, it means that it's ready. Most people go playing in that poo going, I got this issue from when I was 5. No, you've probably had an issue since you were 5. But if it is coming up, it is because it's ready to leave. It's 99% done. You've done 99% of the work to heal yourself, and you just need to breathe and let it go. So breathe this in. Breathe this beautiful fifth dimension and beyond energy into your 100 trillion cells and your 100 trillion telomeres. And yes, you'll receive this energy now, or if you're listening to this recording today, next week, next year, next century. Although I doubt the internet will exist next century. We will be communicating telepathically, won't need phones, won't need internet. Won't that be friggin' awesome when it gets here? Some of you who get to clean up your poop may even still be here next century. How exciting is that? focus drifts away, just bring it back to breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. The best thing you can do for your spiritual growth is to learn to breathe consciously and bring your awareness within. Notice your thoughts. Tell the stuff that's bullshit to fuck off. Just bring your awareness back into the infinite being of light you have always been. Alrighty, that's a good 5-minute blast of 5D energy. I just wish to remind you that we are doing a powerful 10-week 5th dimension activator, certified 5th dimensional activator, and we will teach you the rest of the 5th dimension activation and so much more. Your life will be changed forever from this program, and there's decades of testimonials on my website that this has happened already to people all over the world. So I'll put all those details down below this video. I've worked how to do it without turning my computer on, which is just bloomin' fantastic. So love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all. I wish you all a truly blessed day, and I really look forward to being with you again tomorrow. Love, love, love. And bye for now.